listening to A1. You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. And now, Australia's Psychic Cowgirl with Tanya Reid. Live from AustraliaPsychicCowgirl.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Australia's Psychic Cowgirl on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
G'day everyone, Tanya Reid here, Australia's Psychic Cowgirl, coming at you from the Grampians. Oh, there we go, the kangaroos are jumping off in the background. I'm going to move over and see if you can get a glimpse of them. See if I'm out of range. Dave's going to zoom in. I think, Dave, that will work before they take off. They're a bit camera shy. So I'm here at the Grampians in Victoria, near Stall. Come up for a gorgeous cousin's wedding, so we're pretty excited about that. So there you go, you get to see these kangaroos are wild in their native area here that they just come and go, and they're really quite tame. So we did travel around a bit to find these for you so that we could include them in the show today. So welcome everybody, thanks for listening. Very exciting news this week on behalf of myself and a few other talented Aussies. We all participated in the fundraiser for wildlife here in Australia. And it was a big webinar that was ran by Scott Alexander King and Carmel Joy Baird, who is Mum's a Medium, or one of Canada's best mediums. So, yeah, they ran the forum for us. We were able to raise, I think it was just over $13,000 Australian for the wildlife that had been injured here in Australia through to the extreme bushfires. So it was really amazing to be part of that. And following on from that, we have now been invited to come over to Carmel's Ranch in Alberta, Canada in September. So the full mediumship experience, I have shared it on my page. I will be there in Canada, and I'm planning to visit you guys in the US as well. So stay tuned, and I'm very excited to be able to come over from Australia and connect with you all in person. So rather than just being on the radio, I will be over to visit. So very excited, can't wait, and you'll be hearing more about that as time goes on. So here I am at the Grampians. This is a beautiful, beautiful area. For those that haven't visited here in country Victoria, it is amazing. You can kind of see, well, I lifted up, you can't quite see the mountains in the background, but yeah, there's absolutely amazing mountains here, and the scenery is just fantastic. And as you can see, kangaroos, I think there's still a couple behind me, friendly as they're you don't tend to get too close because they can be a bit territorial like any other wild animal. So we just stay at a respectful distance and admire them, and it's been fantastic. We've had a wonderful stay here for the last few days, very relaxing place. The mountains, the waterfalls, everything is absolutely stunning. So highly recommend the Grampians to come for a visit. People are really friendly, and so are the kangaroos. So yeah, highly recommend it. So getting on to what's been happening this week, we're into February, which is pretty crazy, but yeah, it's been, for me, a bit of a week of regrouping and just setting some goals or fine-tuning some of the goals that I'd set for myself earlier this year to be able to actually put into action, because I was finding I was plodding along a little bit and feeling a little bit like I wasn't achieving what I needed to. So it's been a great break here to be able to actually focus on what it is that I need to get done. So I'm pretty wrapped with that. And the beauty of what I do being that I can do it on the road, and, I'm not limited to, just being in the one spot. So it's been great. I can still do my readings. Now I'm just going to bring up that's it. So it's been an interesting week. And here in Victoria, Australia, the weather's been crazy. Like, the sun's out now. Seriously, it was like there was raindrops dripping just a minute ago, and I was thinking, this is going to be interesting. We might be doing this in the rain. It's the first time for everything. So, yeah, so that was interesting. But it's almost like I want to say, and I have connected with a few people over the last, week and a bit, that there's been a little bit of an air of uncertainty, or people feeling a little bit like their plans aren't coming into motion quick enough, or feeling like they're being held back. And I've just found the energy is relative at the moment. So if you're finding that, if you're feeling a little bit frustrated, don't feel on your own. It's just currently we're being sort of, again, I think I said this a few weeks ago, it's just the energy of holding you back to really get in the now is what I find. And also to really have a rethink on what it is you want to bring to your big picture, or what it is that you want to you might be your goals and things that you want to do this year. Just take a step back, be an allowance, know that all that is meant to be for you will be, so that will come together. But I just want to say that, hold the faith, okay? Because we're having a few little tests around us at the moment. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, I've got my first caller, Valerie from...
Hi.
Now I'm going to pronounce this. Medio Camino, is that right, in Mexico?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Awesome. I haven't had somebody from Mexico for a while, so thank you for calling in.
Great.
Okay, so Valerie, did you have something you wanted me to focus on with our reading today?
Yes. I've had a series of bad luck.
Yep.
And I don't know why, because I'm a really good manifester.
Yep. It's funny that you're not the only one that I've spoken to in the last week. Another lady that I had a chat with, exactly the same. She's able to manifest a lot of things quite effectively, but she just felt like stuck in a rut and things not just going according to plan. There is something around, and I know you've mentioned bad luck for you, but there is something around at the moment to make us pull up and reassess things. And I do feel like for you, things are happening because you're being redirected. And it's almost like, I feel like within life for you at the moment, you're tossing up making a decision. And there's something around that decision that's questionable. And it's like you're being held back for a reason in regards to that. So can I say, is there movement or a move that you're planning at the moment, or you had, I suppose, a step place to do?
No. Moving? No.
Okay. So
like moving out of house?
To do with work,
different house?
Yeah, like I just feel like
work.
Yeah, it's just something you're weighing up with moving. So it's just like Spirit is showing me there's a male stepping in strongly for you, and it's like he's showing me that that it's almost like there's movement for you, but it's not exactly where you're thinking, and it's almost like you've been given some speed humps to stop you making a decision that you will later look back, that wasn't quite the right decision for me. There's a big decision coming up, and it's like it's exciting. So it's something new and like an opportunity. But you've been, and I feel like, with your comment on the bad luck, it's like things that were meant to be lined up in place have now fallen over because you're redirected. There's a definite reason for this. And I feel like I want to say it's connected to this male in spirit. Can I ask, is your father in spirit?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like this chap coming through is quite strong and powerful, and it's like he's like going, come on, pay attention to this. There's almost been like signs around you and stepping into your personal power and making this move. And he's showing me it's movement, so it's change around you. And it's definitely something that's for the positive. And I feel like there's some aspect of I'm bringing in more money with this. So were you considering something that maybe wasn't going to bring you a lot of money, and you were kind of heading in a direction and you've been pulled back from that? Can I ask? Because that's what it feels like he's showing me.
Yes, I would like that. So my boss died, and I got fired, and I started a new place, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Yep. Right. So there's change. You're not there. This is not a permanent thing. I'm just going to plug this in a little bit more. This is not a permanent thing for you. And it's like what's happened isn't your final destination. So there's more movement, but it's like, okay, what he's showing me, it's like the next opportunity isn't quite available yet, so you've been put in the hold. And it's like where you are at the moment, it's like you say, you hate it. It's not your big picture, but you're just being held up for, and what he's showing, what I'm feeling around that is not that long a time frame. So it's like you've been diverted to that, but only to hold up ready for this next opportunity. I do want you to be open and still actively looking for things. So don't feel like there's been a lid put on things. It's like he's showing me there's a definite that this opportunity is definitely around you. And I really want to say it's not far away. Or I don't know whether you've heard snippets of this.
Yeah, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I don't know whether you've heard snippets of this around the opportunity coming in as far as career for you, because I just feel like it's not far away. And when I get shown that, it's like it's... Sorry, I can't hear you with that very well. A salon,
how long
did
do you think it'll be? Yeah.
Oh, how long? Okay. Say, oh, there's a
yeah, how long?
Not that far away. I just feel like you're being on hold for a certain purpose, and it's like not feeling. It's interesting. I've got a kangaroo right beside me. It want to go to. It's like he's showing me 4 to 8. So I feel like 4 to 8 weeks. Something that is going to come out of the blue, and something that you're going to love. So can I ask, with your career and what you're doing, that there's been changes or something that you've been, it's like a long-term dream. So if I was to say to you, okay, let's step into what it is you've always wanted to do, but you've been held back. Why aren't you stepping into that right now?
I don't know.
Okay, because it's like that's what he's showing me. Your dad's a very strong man. I feel like I want to go to a great work ethic, and you do too. And it's almost like he's showing me pennies from heaven. So don't give up on this run of bad luck. It is only temporary. And it's like you're going to look back at this period and go, you know what? This happened for a reason, because there's a lot of positives coming around this opportunity. And he wants you to know that. And your dad loves you very much. And I feel like I want to refer to, in spirit, he's stepping in strongly, and it's almost like he didn't get to do that in life, I feel, or there was something around regretting not being able to give you all that you needed.
Absolutely was.
Yeah, so it's like in spirit, he is around. So, yeah, when they come through like that, honour, like the fact that he's around, connect in with him and say, come on, Dad. And I feel like with Dad, he was a bit of a straight shooter, so it's like, we don't want to be held up. Come on, Dad. Get on with this opportunity. I'm really excited, and I need you to guide me here. And I also do feel long term you're moving. You're physically moving from where you are.
You think so?
I don't see that soon, but I do see you. There's something around relocation, and this will be around stepping into your career path. Travel is important to you, so please take time out to travel, explore the road less travelled, all of that kind of thing is really relevant for you.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can turn the camera around a little bit without getting out.
When is the move? Oh, the move's going to happen at the same time as... Okay.
I feel like the career aspect will happen first, okay? So it's almost like career first, but I do see you relocating at some point.
Okay. All right, because I really hate this job, and I wanted to do anything different.
Yeah.
Or any place different.
Please, let me know. I would love to hear from you. I do stand by what I say, when I'm connected with readings. Australia Psychic Cowgirl on Facebook, you are welcome to message me, because I would love to hear about this, because your dad's coming through really strongly to say this is definitely happening. So do not doubt. It's honestly a case of you just being held back for that reason to redirect you. But you're going to love what you're doing next.
Great. Did he say anything about my sister?
Your sister's in spirit as well with him?
No. No.
Okay, no, there's not there. I feel like he's on his own up there. So your sister's still here, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So your sister, okay. Is your sister not far from where you live now?
No, I live in Mexico.
Okay. Where is your sister based? Is she in the
United
States as
States.
well?
California.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So she's going through a little bit of a struggle at the moment. Is there something around her health as well? Can I ask?
Yes, definitely, yes.
Okay. I feel like I want to go to, there's a lot of strength coming through for her, and because I feel like she's defied the odds, or there's something around, she's gone along this journey better than expected or anticipated, and it's almost like he's showing me she's got that strength to get through this, or to be guided through this on her own terms. He's telling me has to be on her own terms.
Okay.
Okay, so tell her to follow her gut feeling on that. I feel like also in regards to treatment, I want to look at different options. I'm not just going down the path that I'm led to believe is where I need to be, because I feel like with your sister, there's a lot of intuition. You have it as well, and we want to tune into that and go, this is what feels right for me. So tell her not to doubt that.
Yeah. I'll tell her. Yeah.
So please tell her that. And Dad's around, and like I said, he's coming through in spirit. He specifically stepped up today to say he's here to make things right. He's here to really be able to do things in spirit that he didn't do here in life. So please know that he is here. There's something he's showing me with a flag. I feel like, I don't know whether he used to barrack for a team or there's some kind of flag with a symbol on it, but there's a flag that he's showing me in reference to somebody. So I don't know where that fits, but I trust that.
I have no idea.
Somebody.
What's the symbol?
All right, Valerie. So this is only, it's just a speed hump in the road. So don't be put off by that. Just be an allowance. And, like sometimes we need to go back to let's have trust and faith in what is to come. And for you, that's what I feel like you need to do is go, okay, universe, you've given me the shit sandwich, as I like to say, and that's okay because I know that the next step is coming to me. So I'm just going to be in allowance. And it's almost like you let go of that and allow that to happen. You'll find things will just fall into place as they need to. But it's not far away, so don't be disheartened.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Look for the butterflies, I have to say to you, too. Just saw one flying around. Look for the butterflies. That's
okay, I will.
Spirit for you. Okay, good luck. Keep the faith.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Valerie. Take care. All right, I've got my second caller, Bella, in New Orleans, Louisiana. Bella, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Really good. Really good. Wow, you've got a really amazing energy around you, just connecting to your, names are a really big thing for me. So just connecting in with your name, I'm like, wow, this girl's here to do some really cool stuff. Have you stepped into, and I feel like I want to go to my big picture in what I do, so it's like my sole purpose. Are you doing that at the moment?
Am I doing what at the moment? I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Your sole purpose. I feel like there's an aspect of I'm following my sole purpose, my path, and almost like I want to go to what I would say is like your career, because you're here to do some great things.
Okay.
So it's almost like if you're not into it yet, we need to be, because you're here to make your mark. You're not just here to live a life and exist. There's a beautiful lady coming through in spirit for you who, like I've got a loving heart, and there's a connection to red hearts around her. So I just had to share that with you. I feel like that's a really strong connection with her. Mm-hmm. And it's like she also acts as your guidance as well. So she's quite relevant in, asking for help, or if needing assistance in spirit, she's there for you.
Okay.
Okay. Like you're well guided. So do you connect, and because I feel like with your energy, you're quite spiritual, and you're quite, you've got your psychic sense is quite strong.
Okay.
Can't quite hear your response there.
I'm trying to clearly understand what you're saying, so the phone is going in and out.
Okay, no worries. So it's more or less, do you, do you have a spiritual practice, or do you follow that? Because I feel like your intuition and your psychic side is really strong. Do you honour that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like we're stepping up with that. We're moving even stronger. And this is to do with your life purpose as well. So are you working in that field now?
I'm in the process of opening up my own business.
Yay. Awesome. So this will be stepping into your soul purpose, because there's success around you. And when I look at, soul purpose is what you're meant to be doing and something that you rock at. And it's like, for you, I want to say congratulations, because you're finally doing that. And that's what I felt like from Spirit. It's like you're stepping into this, and it's exciting, I want to say.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's no doubt around that. With you starting your own business, is there a shop involved in that? Is there a premises as to where you're working out of?
No, right now it's from me just being able to work from home.
Yeah. Okay. So I see a shop at some point. So it's like they're showing me and within that, it's like you will be expanding. So this is going to take off. And just what Spirit is showing me is you'll start off as you are, but it won't take long before you will be like, oh, I need to expand here. And I see other aspects that you're going to have in amongst your business. So there's others that are like-minded that bring things to the table a little bit different to you, that you're going to gather them together.
Okay.
Okay? And there's a lot with what they're sharing to me about markups and things. So are you retailing products as well with your business?
No.
I know there's services. Not yet.
Taxes.
Because I feel like...
No, not yet.
Yeah, okay. Because Spirit is showing me there's retail around it. So I feel like that's part of stepping into the shop when the time is right for you. But I want to say don't be scared to think big, because this can be as big as you want it to be. And it's like sometimes we sit a little bit in fear when we're stepping into our personal power. And I really feel for you, you're stepping into your personal power. 2020 is big for you.
Okay.
Okay. And I also want to say in that, don't be afraid of losing people or people moving away from you, because this is about you honouring you, who you are, and your own personal power. And some people, sometimes people that are around us struggle with that. And I just want to say to you, don't be put off by if there's some that exit. It's because that's what's needed. And it's almost like it's your time to shine. You will attract people that are the same. And these people will be supporting you on your journey. Hopefully I get to connect with you when I'm over in America. Whoops, I think we've dropped out. Let's see if we can get Bella back up again. Yay. Let's see. If not, I'll just keep going. I'll keep tuning in for Bella. Divinely guided, she looks for the signs. A lot of signs around her at the moment. So she's being shown things, whether she realises it or not. And the reason I keep talking is Bella can have a listen to this and get this information, rather than if the line's out, we don't want her to miss out. Back again. Bella, how are you?
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, that was funny. Now what was I saying? So, yeah, so are you prepared for this big step up, can I ask?
Am I prepared for what?
You're stepping into your own business and starting things off and honouring who you are.
Yes, I am.
Good. Where do I get 2 children from around? I feel like I'm connecting to 2 children.
I have 2 children that live with me and a grandchild.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, yeah. So I feel like they're rather sweet and supportive. It's like everyone wants to help you. But again, what I was saying, I don't know whether you got that before that you dropped out, is don't be afraid to let go of the ones that don't support you or don't understand your journey. That you're not here to please other people. But I do see some people stepping out But there's also people stepping in, and they're like-minded, supportive people. And you're going to inspire others, because I see groups gathering around you. So again, be prepared for that, which is exciting. It's like you have a great story to share. So I feel like this is in relation to your life and situations that you've been through. Others will get inspiration from. They're also showing me this lovely lady. She's so sweet. I'm just trying to work out if she's a grandmother. I feel like she's a mother connection somewhere. So whether she's on your mother's side, but she's a very nurturing lady. She's also showing me you writing a book. So I feel like I need to say start to write things down now. And it's almost like start to do that like sooner rather than later, if that makes sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so don't hesitate with that. Now, is there one other question before I have to wrap you would like to ask me?
The person that I'm involved with, is that the person that I'm supposed to continue on this journey with? I know that's kind of like a cliche question, but there's been so many ups and downs, and I'm confused as to whether or not ties need to be cut and just start fresh or just continue to try.
I feel like for you, it's like step up or step out. And it's almost like with you starting your own business, your focus is going to be on that. If they don't step up with you, that's the answer. And it's almost like they're kind of like this. So I feel like there's, but a little bit like I said earlier, those that aren't going to support you are going to go. So it's almost like they're not meant to be there. They won't be around. It'll be like there'll be a decision made and they will be left. I do feel for you there's somebody new. That's my thoughts on it.
Okay.
And not that far away, so don't be put off. If this one doesn't hang around, there'll be somebody else stepping up. And somebody different to you had before. So look for the change. But definitely somebody new, I feel.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to have to wrap up before I get the cut off. So thank you so much for connecting. Bella, don't hesitate, Australia Psychic Cowgirl. You can contact me on Facebook for any further questions. More than happy to help. Thanks, guys. See you same time, different place next week. Cheers. Woohoo.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Sapphire Souls with Amber Price. Live from amber-price.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Sapphire Soul
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so excited to be joining you today with Sapphire Souls. I'm Amber Price. Thank you so much for joining me in this welcoming community. I am so happy to bring you some messages today. First, I want to start with introducing myself. I'm living in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, and I have 5 children, and I'm living here with my husband. We have 1 grandbaby and another one on the way any day now. So it's quite busy here in the Price household, but not too busy to be able to spread some light in the community. So today, I just wanted to give you a couple little insights into who I am and how I got here. So I started doing this work professionally a few years ago. And it kind of came about in a very interesting way because I didn't actually plan on being a psychic medium for my life. If you can imagine, most of us don't, right? It kind of something you're stumbled upon, and the universe is kind of giving you that direction and guidance to be able to come and join this work. So originally, I had done a lot of work in the healthcare industry in administration. And so I ended up continuing that work and really finding more and more that I went on that I just needed to do this. So my earliest memory was when I was about 4 years old, around kindergarten time. And that's when I really started recognizing that I didn't actually believe that I was alone. I knew it was an imaginary friend, but I did know that the energy that was around me, I felt like I wasn't alone, and that, I really felt comforted by it. It never did scare me. And then fast forward to about 12 years old, and luckily some pioneers in the industry were already on television and sharing some information educationally about this type of work. And I was able to, through that, really understand who I was and what I was doing. And so from there at 12, you can imagine I didn't understand very much about it, but I did know I wasn't alone and that other people did feel the same way and experience the same things that I did. And as you know, because if you're watching, that means that you're also a spiritual soul. And so to some extent, you also probably feel like you could be isolated, or that somebody doesn't really understand how you feel or some of the things that you're experiencing. So when you do have somebody like that come along and really shed some light, it really is comforting. So I ignored it, of course, at 12 years old. I just went and continued and played and, lived my life. And then getting to 17 years old is when I really started to feel my first experience. Now, it was around the first time that I knew that I was communicating with someone who had departed. And so that's when I really started to harness in and listen to that energy. But of course, at 17, this isn't something that I thought I would be doing for the rest of my life. It was something that I just thought I was. And so when I'm connecting and getting messages, I just felt, again, very peaceful, very validated, very heartwarmed by it, because it was never scary. And so then about 26 years old, I was pregnant with my 4th child. And we, of course, didn't know if it was going to be a boy or girl, but I had this impression of a little girl, and she came to me and kind of gave me some information about that she was a girl, that she would be coming and joining us into this earth realm, and that she would be coming on a certain month and a certain day. And of course, I thought, okay, well, we'll see what happens. And of course, true to her message, she came on the exact day that she had given me the information. So from there, it really kind of started to get more involved and more heavy as we kind of went on. And being a parent, I really used my intuition to help guide and help deliver messages and guidance to my children. So as I mentioned, we do have 5. And so now we get to share that information with all the little new grandbabies that are coming for us. And so when I decided that I was going to work in this industry and really just live my authentic purpose, which I really believe each of you should be doing, it is a very scary and difficult step. I understand. I've been there, done that, had to make the same choice. But at the end of the day, it's feeling like a relief. Like, yes, you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. You are living your authentic purpose. And that in itself is so rewarding. So I was about 26 when I made that decision to really start listening. But I really wasn't until my 30s in which I decided that I was going to be doing this for professional work. And I'm a claircognizant, so I get a lot of information that just kind of comes into my head, like my own thoughts and my own memories of things. And so, of course, that is the most challenging is that your own thought? Did I know that before and now I'm just remembering it now? And so really the thoughts that come in and the messages that are interpreted and received are really quick, fast, and furious. And so it's a lot to absorb when you're first learning. And as an empath, which is my second strongest quality, you feel the way that other people feel. And so this was my biggest struggle. So any of you out there that have been looking to understand themselves more, or maybe struggling with feelings of anxiety or chronic illnesses or autoimmune disorders, those are things that I struggled with myself. And I'm very, very willing to share those personal stories because I feel like it's so helpful to understand. I feel a lot of spiritual people feel these types of ailments a lot because they're not really understanding that they're receiving energy and receiving information through that way. And so knowing that now makes you a lot more healthy. You take a lot of more accountability to these things. So really some personal growth in that area. And of course, once you start acknowledging that they're coming through and that you are getting messages, you start to feel healthier because you're in a lot more control over what information you're receiving and how you're interpreting it, if you choose to share it or if you keep it private. All of those things come with learning really who you are and what your purpose is. The main thing that I really kind of focused on was more information. So, okay, now I know that I'm experiencing these things. So where can I get information? Where can I understand? And I didn't know really anybody else who was doing it professionally. I believe I come from a long line of family members on both my father and my mother's side that are very sensitive to energy, whether they're empaths or whether they're actually receiving clairvoyant messages or claircognizant messages. And so it was never a thing to be ashamed of in my family. Like I was very, very lucky that I had so much support with friends and family. But not everybody does. And you know, you have to find that support from somewhere. So really just kind of delving into books. I had read so many books. My husband got me one that I really want to give a shout out to, Sherry Dillard. It was You Are a Medium. This book was amazing. It really captured the essence of what I was experiencing and shedding light onto it. And so I just started reading more books and more books and more books and researching, the internet and really understanding what kind of information I am getting and how to work with it. And so I guess I could say I'm a natural born medium in the sense that I just never really had to develop it from scratch. If I go back into time, I know that at 4 years old, I was experiencing that. And of course, it wasn't something that I asked for at that age or even asked for in later years. But of course, this is my life's purpose. I understand that now. And I just absolutely love that there are forums like A1R Radio and Moonstruck TV and all these different people that come out and share their wisdom each day and each week and each moment. And so I'm just very, very pleased to be part of this community. So that's enough about me. I just love sharing some things just so that people who also are experiencing, their own enlightenment and their own spiritual ascension really do understand that it's not easy for us as sensitive people. We don't just wake up and we're doing this, without any problem. It is something that we all work on and that we all struggle with, to a sense of, how do I turn it off? Like, I get asked that all the time. And to a point, it's hard to turn it off, because if you're open and you're willing to accept messages because it's for someone's highest good, I mean, it is difficult to turn it off. However, there's different varying levels of that. And so, in one of my future shows, we'll talk about really how do you harness those messages, and how do you protect yourself if maybe you're somewhere where it's inappropriate to be receiving all these messages and having to filter through them. So I'm interested, down the road in sharing those tidbits. And so really, when we're looking at energy and how you're getting it, it could come anywhere. It could come at a restaurant while you're trying to eat, at the grocery store. It could come when you're visiting a friend that every other day for the last 15 years you've not had a message come through, but this particular day you do. So really filtering those things and kind of working through them. And of course, nobody wants somebody to be giving them messages all the time. So when we're talking about friends and family members, I mean, there's a certain level of boundary that I put up for those people. I don't tap into their energy. I've done a lot of making sure that there's a good, let's say, spiritual wall or protection around them, because I really do want to enjoy them and respect them as family and friends. And so unless somebody asks, they're not getting any information. And that's just the moral standard I set for myself. And of course, everybody's different. So when we're talking about energy, this is actually an amazing time of the year, because you've got, we're entering fall. And with fall comes all the energy of all the change. And so from an energetic universal energy, you've got the change. So, just as the leaves have fallen from the trees, you've got the energy that is asking us to let things fall away from our energy and our soul that we no longer need. We carry so much with us every single day. And, I always equate it to, like, if you were carrying all these grocery bags and backpacks and stuff, and every time somebody you met, you got another backpack or another grocery bag, and then you got upset because something upsets us. And so you hold that as another bag. And then all of a sudden you've got, like, you're being weighed down by all of these bags and all of this energy that you're carrying. Now imagine if you thought of that as the physical picture that I was creating for you. Could you imagine how far somebody could get in carrying all of those bags and all of that weight? So when we're really thinking about it, if you can put down some of those bags, those spiritual bags, you can really start to feel healthier and feel more aware and have more enlightening messages come through. Because when we are holding all of that stuff, what happens is our energy becomes a little bit more dense, and it is harder to communicate with energy. And so if we're talking about you and how you're supposed to be, maybe communicating with your loved ones or your angels, your guides, you really want to have some sense of clarity when you're getting those messages. And let's be clear, just because you put something down doesn't mean that you don't have to care about it anymore. It just means that you're letting yourself enjoy the moment that you're in. And so when you're continuing to release or hold all of those things, you definitely should be thinking about, what is this doing for me? Because really, fall reminds us, put things down, let things go. And so it's kind of an awkward time for some of us. I don't know if you listeners have thought of this or have noticed in the last few weeks, some of the energy is absolutely chaotic. And so if you're in the midst of a crossroad, in your life, you're absolutely probably feeling uncomfortable. Everything probably seems like it's juggling up in the air and you don't know which way to go. That's okay. Don't worry. We're all there. I've been there too. And so all this has to do is remind us that something has to change, because if we didn't feel uncomfortable and we didn't have the chaos that's surrounding us, we wouldn't be pushed to do something different, right? So with fall comes all of the energy about holidays. And I'm talking about Remembrance Day is just around the corner. And so when we have those energies that are coming through and really just remembering and honoring the fallen, that brings a whole bunch of energy to light as well, especially in very historical places, because you've got a lot of energy from the actual events that have occurred. Here in Canada, we just had Thanksgiving. And so the energy with that and what it stands for and represents. And so, of course, upcoming all of these different holidays for every nationality. And that brings energy. Now, we're talking about the energy that's created by us humans, which is the excitement and the joy of getting together with friends and family, or complete opposite. Maybe it's stress and worry and concern about having to come together with people. And either is absolutely normal as long as you know and accept that it is what it is. And so when you're connecting, that creates an energy in itself. So I equate that to if you've ever been to a surprise party and you're waiting to surprise this person, and then you're getting all these butterflies in your stomach and you're maybe feeling anxious and nervous. That's feeling energy of people. That's feeling the energy of an environment. And so when you have that, you really want to understand that it's not like an anxiety, like that you're experiencing anxiety. It's that you have to just be mindful that you're in an environment with lots of people and lots of energy. But on the other side, which is so fascinating, we have the energy that brings all of our loved ones. So now you've got energy that's coming through for all of the loved ones that want to attend and to be there to witness this exciting event. And the same is true for events that are more challenging for us, such as, funerals or somebody being ill and things like that, because we've all experienced that, unfortunately, with our families and loved ones. And so the energy too will enhance around those times. And so you've got your emotion, you've got the environment, and then you have the energy of the spiritual realm, which is your loved ones and angels and guides. So can you imagine how much is going on at that time of year? And you're expecting to be, even keel and everything is going great and everything goes perfect without a hitch. So I guess I challenge you this holiday season to really kind of separate what it is that you are feeling. Are you feeling on the energy of the people? Are you feeling on the energy of the environment or the event? Or are you thinking that you're feeling the energy of your loved ones that are in spirit? And so really start to identify what it is that you're picking up, because I guarantee you're going to be able to hone in on your own skills and really, really start to pick up more messages. As well, it takes some of that energy that drains us. Some people really, really thrive in the environment with lots of people and lots of love and lots of connection. And then empaths tend to retreat. So as much as they want to look and be, really excited to be around people, it's actually so physically demanding that they become very drained. And so, they may not be able to stick around for long, and that's okay. And so here are some of the things that we can do. So when we're talking about preparing for energy and how we can kind of, embrace the next several weeks, what we want to do is we want to set boundaries. Number one, it is okay to not attend every holiday party and every, dinner out. You don't have to attend something. Empaths tend to feel like they have to please other people or else they're letting them down. And to an extent, I think as long as you just explained that you're not coming, but thank you for the invite. That there are ways around it without causing an awkward moment, because empaths don't like awkward moments and they don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So setting boundaries, and boundaries are amazing for anybody. It doesn't matter if you're an empath or not. Really setting boundaries is something that will help you feel like you're really living up to the expectations that you set for yourself. And when we live up to an expectation that we've set for ourselves, we don't feel disappointed or stressed or lacking. We actually feel validated and we feel like we've accomplished something. So got your boundaries set. So now what? Now you're going to look at how you protect your energy. So you're going to really kind of meditate. You're going to balance out. Maybe you want to ground. Grounding is funny. I'm actually sitting on the floor right now in my living room, and this is making me feel grounded. I feel nice and comfy and cozy. Because actually here in Niagara Falls, Canada, it's snowing right now. So I wasn't about to go outside and stand in the grass. Although, I also found the snow is very calming for me as well. Now, so anything that you do that makes you feel comfortable, maybe it's going for a drive, listening to music, having a bath, all of those things are very clearing and grounding of your energy. And if you're balanced and grounded, you can handle a lot more. And you can probably attest to that. If you've already got, everything snowballing and all of these crazy things going on in your day, it doesn't take much to send you over the edge and cause frustration or stress or, disappointment in your day when you've already got so many things in a momentum. And so if you can balance and clear that out, you can handle a lot more. So when you've got the opportunity, you're going to come home from a large group event, or maybe it's work, or maybe it's visiting one person. It doesn't matter. Whatever your energy has been expended on, you'd like to follow it up with some clearing. So I like to wash my hands with cool water after every connection that I make. It doesn't matter if I'm outside talking to a neighbor, or if I'm at, my local department store, or if I've just finished a reading. I like to wash my hands in between each reading as well. It really clears the energy. And it's a really great fix in a time when you can't actually go for a long bath or a long shower. And so any of those things are really valuable, especially in the holiday season, to kind of reboot your energy. And I think that it's so important that you just say no, just say no, set your boundaries, and then also set time frames for how long that you want to attend a certain thing, or how long that you're going to be able to engage in that energy. If you know that you can only do 3 hours, then when 3 hours comes, even if you're feeling high off the energy from the time, knowing that when you get home, you're going to kind of come down off of that and feel like an energetic hangover, so to speak. Basically, that's you pushing your limits. So kind of stick with it and make sure. Now, you also want to dissolve any cords to any energy that you have connected to. And I'm going to talk about that in later shows, and how we can do more of a clearing and a cutting or dissolving of cords very gently. And I am just absolutely so excited to share with you all of these little tips and tidbits that I've learned through the years, because it helps me so much to understand, how are other people experiencing energy? And that's why I love to hear other people's stories. I absolutely love it. And so when they show up and they share this information with me, and I can help people through spiritual growth coaching, the workshops that I offer, I really get so much more out of it than they probably do, to be honest, because you know what? I love learning and I love engaging with people, and helping somebody understand their abilities is priceless to me. It is absolutely priceless, because I understand from a very personal perspective what it felt like to be there. And I'll tell you, I don't take any interaction with somebody for granted. It doesn't matter who you are. When you cross my path, I will learn from you. And I hope that I grow better from it. And so that's why I'm here. And that's why I've decided that I'm going to do light work. And this is what really just gives me the love in my heart to be able to share with you the stuff that I've learned and the information I get. So primarily as a medium, I connect to people who've departed. And so I hold a very, very high ethical standard for myself and how I share information with people's loved ones. So I don't like to rush. I really like to give people the time that they need to hear the messages. I do evidential mediumship, so I like to provide validating key facts about their loved ones so that they know who I'm speaking of. So because of this, this does take a lot of energy out of me, of course, and anybody out there who also does medium type readings. But what I am able to really kind of gain out of it is that I'm giving. So it doesn't matter how much energy it takes and how long the session goes. I really just need to make sure that that message is delivered. And so I really absolutely feel like if you want more information about that and how I connect, then please visit my website at amber-price.com for more information. And I'm going to be talking in the coming weeks about protection of energy, how energy and emotion might be different, because I hear the words, I have anxiety and I feel anxious, or I'm picking up energy. So I really want to separate what those things are. And this is something that I feel like is something that the people in my workshop really, really love. And this is helping them to become more grounded. And so as you approach your holiday season and as you continue to move through fall season, know that you have lots of resources around you and you can reach out at any time, and that you're not alone. You have validation, you have backup. And so thank you so much for allowing me to join this beautiful community on A1R Radio and Moonstruck TV. I am so excited to be here and share this information with you. And in the coming weeks, we'll get into really some cool topics and deep information. And hopefully where you are, it's not snowing so much, because right now it's still snowing. So, and maybe next time when I see you, I will be able to share that I have a brand new grandson on the way, because he's due any day now. And so we're anxiously awaiting that. Perfect timing. So thank you so much. And I absolutely want to challenge you to that energy challenge that I gave you. And I'd love to hear your feedback about it.
A1R Psychic Radio. Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for the Ask Rebecca radio show with Rebecca Russo. Live from AskRebecca.guru. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is the Ask Rebecca radio show on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Ask Rebecca radio show. Thanks for joining me. I hope everyone had a decent 2 weeks. Sorry I missed you last week. I was dealing with some intense energetic shifts myself and needed to lay low a little bit to nurture myself. Some things that you may have experienced leading up to tonight: drama, tests to learn and master love, money, and allowing your vulnerable side to come through. In order for that to happen, you may have been triggered with hurts from the past that needed healing. And if you can do the work and truly heal these past wounds, they can bring miraculous healing this month and gifts your way. You may have been accomplishing, finalizing, closing doors, or seeing things come to fruition around romance, hobbies, children, fun, and creativity, thanks to the Leo full moon that we had. February overall will be a pretty good month with lots of potentials for new businesses. Not new businesses. Well, maybe new businesses, but I meant to say new blessings connected to ideas, opportunities, people, and past ventures. Lots of action will be required on your part to see all your blessings manifest. There will be plenty of opportunities to heal challenging situations or find solutions to problems. The downside to this month energetically is bouts of high emotions and bringing things that have been hidden out into the open to be dealt with and healed. Drama and life-changing events are likely as well, especially if you haven't dealt with your stuff from the middle of 2018. And we have the new eclipse cycle that's happening in June of this year, June, July, which is helping close the door of that stuff that started in the middle of 2018. So we're going to start feeling those energetic effects now. Not to mention, we've got next Thursday on 2/20/20. That is opening up a massive energetic portal as well. So lots of energetic things happening. Thanks to Mercury retrograde period that we are currently in, you could also experience changes in plans, uncertainty, self-doubt, and things that seemed a sure thing not being so sure anymore. We also moved into a new 28-day moon cycle on February 7th that lasts until March 6th. It's called the Galactic Moon of Integrity, which is tone 8, and the descriptive words being harmonize, model, and integrity. And I'm going to read you what it says. Here we go. So it starts with a quote. What is the best way to take in everyday life to lead one to life's ideal? The best way is to consider harmony as the first principle to be observed. Then, in all circumstances and situations and conditions, one should try to harmonize with one's fellow creatures. Harmony is the most essential thing in life. In plain words, inharmony attracts inharmony, whereas harmony attracts harmony. And that quote is by Hazrat Inayat Khan. Having explored the distinct resonances carried by subtle vibrations, we can focus on harmonizing, generating a pleasing combination of elements. Whether this means establishing inner harmony or in relationship with others, Tone 8 calls us to align our conduct with our integrity that we may genuinely model the truths and ideals we believe in. One definition of the code integrity is the state of being whole or undivided, completeness, as modeled by the harmonious whole of the galaxy. This tone reminds us integrity requires consistency, unwavering
adherence to the wisdom and grace of our personal values. Additionally, harmonization requires not compromise, but pliability, willingness to bend, to meet others, to let go of personal attachments for the greater good. As we each uniquely stand as conduits of harmony, we act as mutual role models for one another, inspiring the establishment of galactic culture, actualizing the harmonious potential of our global society. Blessed are they who translate every good thing they know into action. Even higher truths shall be revealed to them. And that quote is by the Peace Pilgrim. All right, so that's what you're going to be dealing with over the next 28 days for all of us. Lastly, before we get into this week's intuitive messages, just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who participated in the guided crystal bulb energy meditation, mimosas, and field trip to Casadega event on the 8th. I always enjoy being able to connect with you on a more personal level and build a real community of like-minded individuals who can support one another. And as far as I'm concerned, you can never have enough amazing friends in your life. And I'm so very blessed to have all of you as a part of mine. And I look forward to continuing to build relationships with all of you for the rest of the year and beyond. So thank you again for showing up. All right, let's get into what you can expect from tonight, February 13th. Through to February 20th as an overall theme, and then areas of love, work, finances, health, and spirituality. This week, you will touch new depths within your being. Previously unaccessed parts of yourself will require a reevaluation of your priorities and a possible restructuring of your life, especially if you feel like you've lost your way or you forced yourself into action before the time was ready. And you could hear or see symbology around compasses if this applies to you. So maybe you overhear a conversation about a compass, or maybe you stumble across a compass, or the compass in your car, or whatever. It could just be compasses popping up in your reality in some way. Some things you can see happening this week are subconscious issues that you may have been avoiding, denying, or haven't quite been able to see clearly come to the surface. And they're going to come to the surface with a bang. Expect high emotions surrounding this for most of the month if you aren't facing your issues head on. Look to the people, things, and situations you find yourself getting triggered by for clues as to what you need to take ownership of within yourself that you do not like. No one can make you feel something that you don't already feel and believe about yourself. Use your life as a mirror to see what is happening on the inside with you. It's not about anyone else but you. Deal with your bullshit, especially if you are constantly blaming life, God, your parents, your friends, your siblings, the guy who works at the 7-Eleven, your exes, your pets, your boss. You get the point. If you're blaming other people, you need to stop and you need to direct that energy inward and really figure out what is going on and why you're seeing life through this lens. You do have a choice. You may be thinking about leaving a situation that no longer works for you. Maybe it's a job, a relationship, or living situation, or something else. You just might be leaving something or changing something massive. Trust your intuition. However, the caution here is to think long and hard, weighing pros and cons before doing so. Be smart, not hasty, right? There's no hurry. Just take your time and really figure out what it is that's going to be in your highest good and your best interest before you actually take action. Have a plan together. Judgment will also be a theme this week. For most of you, this judgment will show up by you getting triggered in order to teach you the importance to look carefully at how you are making decisions and judgments in your own life. If you feel judged by others, then take a hard look at where you are judging everyone else. It's a sure sign that you are being hypocritical in your actions and need to deal with your projections onto others and judgment of yourself. Again, no one can make you feel something that you don't already feel about yourself. Towards the end of the week, you will see more positive aspects at play with some really beautiful days where you feel balanced, peaceful, blessed, and you could see some awesome fruitions happening in your life, especially things that you've been working on so hard. Work, for those of you employed, again, some of you could be contemplating leaving your work situation. Some could experience a change regardless if you are the one making it or not. It could be a new set of duties or a new set of responsibilities in some way, office change, anything, just some sort of change revolving work. Some of you may be monitored closely by the powers to be due to some looming changes with potentially layoffs or terminations. So I highly recommend that you don't slack off right now, especially if you are in a work situation where you feel like things are not feeling quite right. And some of you may actually be aware of maybe some mergers or things that are happening within your job. So really just make sure you are at your best. Those of you that are looking for a job, I'm not really picking up on anything too much for new jobs this week. It does feel like a week of strategizing and networking and putting your feelers out there and just pounding the pavement, the internet, again, just communicate, look, seek, do what you need, and something will be popping up for you in the next week or so. Love, for those of you in committed relationships and dating seriously, it's a make it or break it time for relationships. It's all about judgments, assumptions, and jumping to conclusions. Some of you could be thinking of leaving a challenging relationship. As long as you are not being abused mentally, physically, and or emotionally, the energies point to you needing to work through these challenges because they begin and end with you. If you leave now, you'll just attract the same person, but a worse version. Ultimately, you may leave anyway, but I do feel like you need to understand why you chose this relationship and why you see the things the way that you do. Then leave from an empowered position when you have a clear understanding of your own insecurities, fears, baggage, projection, and self-sabotaging behaviors. It's better to work those things out with the devil you know than the one you don't. But again, if you are in a physically abusive relationship or mentally abusive, you know what I'm talking about. If you're in a situation like that, you need to go now. Looking for love, those of you that are single, some of you could find yourself at home feeling lonely and sorry for yourself with this energy. Don't do that. Get out and explore the world. Hang out with your friends, family. Just put yourself out there. Love will find you when you learn to love yourself. And if you could meet someone and end up making judgments, forming an opinion based on your ego, whether positive or negative, try not to jump to conclusions before truly getting to know someone. Give people a chance. Finances are okay. I do feel more of you are stressed over your financial situation, are trying to figure out solutions. Some may receive a decision made for you around finances that is not in your favor. There is an alternative to get what you want, but it will require you putting energy into positive solutions instead of focusing on the negative situation itself. Health, I do feel some stress, overwhelm, negative attitude, negative thoughts, judgment, anger, and resisting change could cause some health flare-ups for some of you. You do have control over your thoughts. Change them. Also, try forgiving yourself and others. Empowering yourself will help your overall health. And for most everyone else, I just feel like you're going to be feeling the way you've always been feeling. Spirituality, don't isolate yourself. Connect with others and the divine within you. Be open to new ideas, people, experiences. Your judgments are limiting your happiness this week if you allow them to. Don't allow them. You have control over this. I know it's easier said than done. It takes effort. It takes consistent work to